Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Hello and hi. My name is Shoaib Khan and welcome to Maxafter.com's another exciting tutorial. This tutorial is about a plugin called Element 3D created by Video Copilot. This is a third-party plugin for After Effects. So this is what we will be doing. Very excited about it. As you can see, the animation is very cool. Actually, I saw this animation on Video Copilot's promotional video and I was really impressed, and I thought to myself, why not do a tutorial on it? So I'm going to do a tutorial on this one and also on this one. So I did a couple of experiments with it and the results were very exciting and I was amazed with it. So this is what we will be doing. So are you guys ready? Let's start the tutorial. Let's do this one first. Let's go and create a new composition. You can go to composition and you can also create it from here as well. This button here, if you click this one, it will create a new composition. Also you can go here, composition, new composition, and let's say 1280 by 720, 24 frames per second, and let's call this 002 tuts, so that we don't get confused with my files. These are my files, these are tutorials. Right, now first thing first, let's go and create a new layer, new solid. So this is, let's call it Element 3D, same size, 1280 by 720, black color, fine, okay. Now let's go and load Element 3D. Go to Effect, Video Copilot, Element. So here it is, Element is loaded. Now it has got some groups here. I will explain it to you in a second. So let's go to Scene Setup first. So this is Scene Setup panel of Element 3D, right? Now what we need to do is load the models. So we have got some models here. Let's go and load the ones that are primitives. So here I'm going to load the one that says round box. Just click it once. It will appear here and it tells you the faces, vertices, meshes, and all the description is here. And you can also, rotate it and look around. It's all 3D. Amazing. So as soon as it's loaded, we have got this panel here which is loaded and it's called round box, and it has got material as well. Now you can create your own material or you can load the material from the presets, right? So in this case, let's go and load a material. Go to presets and we have got some primitive presets here. So what we do is just go to the shiny one and drag and drop on top of it. That's it. So you have got, a nice material applied to it. Now, so once this is done, what we will do is, I'm not going to go into these panels now, probably some other tutorial, but here I'm just going to show you, the animation, how to do that animation. So in my next tutorials probably I'll go and explain all these here, because this panel is pretty similar to 3ds Studio Max. Here you can load all the maps and materials, but since we have got the maps here, so we'll use these ones for now. We'll go here and click OK. Now as you can see that the box is loaded. Now it is 3D. What you need to do is just create a new camera. Go to Layer, New Camera, and let's make it 28mm camera and click OK. So it's your camera. Press C on your keyboard, or you can use this tool here as well, Orbit tool. So now you can see, it's proper 3D. Very nice. See, I'm really amazed to see this kind of stuff. I'm doing it in After Effects because I used to do this in 3ds Studio Max, but now, it's all done in After Effects. Clever. Okay, now let's go and select element. Let's go down to World Transform and let's scale it down. It's pretty big here, so let's make it something like this. So in World Transform, you can transform the whole object, you know, rather than just transforming bits and pieces of it. This is basically on group 1. Why? Because let's go back to scene, and this is on group 1. Now if you turn it off and go back, nothing is here. So you need to load up group 1, you know, scene setup, and again click 1, so now it will load automatically. Right, so group 1, let's open group 1 and see what we can do with it. Now go to particle replicator, and here let's go and change. This is basically point right now, it's on 1 point, and let's go and change it to sphere. And nothing is happening right now because we need to replicate it. So let's go and replicate it like this. So this is how it looks when you replicate it, you know. Now let's go and scale it down. So from here you can scale the whole size of it, you know. Now if we go to particle look, here we can just scale it down to something like 2.5 or something, right? And now in shape, this is the shape. Now let's go and increase the particle count. If you increase the particle count, this is what happens. And now this is basically kind of random, haphazardly, you know, put together. So for that we will go into the shape options here, and this is automatic bias. So let's go and change this and see what happens. -3. So this is, you know, it's a bit organized. So let's go and increase it to 130 or something, and let's go down and just decrease the size. Right, looks cool. So we have got one shape in hand now. Right, now let's leave it here. You can't do anything with it right now, but of course you can do other stuff like scatter and all, you know, movements. But our aim is to animate it from group 1 to group 2. Basically morph this shape into another shape, you know. So if you want to morph it, you need another shape, you know, so that you can morph it to one shape to another shape, just like in 3ds Max, you know, or any other 3D packages. But here it's done through animation engine. So let's go to animation engine and enable it, and go to animation here, put a keyframe at frame 0 seconds. Let's go to 2 seconds and put 100 here. So this is what happens. It basically disappears. It disappears because we have got group 1 only, and on group 2 there is nothing here, so that's why it disappears. Right, so we need to load up group 2 as well. Right, so for that we'll go back to scene setup, and on scene setup we have got one round box here. We need to apply another one. Right, so this one you can go back here and load up the round box again, or you can also right click and duplicate all. Well, let's load it from here. So this is round box 2. You can rename it as well, round box 2. Right, now you'll see that this is on group 1 as well. So let's go and apply a shader to it. So, and if you go back to scene, we have got lots of shaders here, so you can right click and remove unused, so you'll be left with only 2 shaders. Right, now if you go back to OK, now what is happening here is group 1 and group 2 are merged right now, so that is why we are seeing black and orange, you know, squares. But I want it to be, you know, black squares that transforms into orange squares. Why is this happening? Because if you go to scene setup, and you will see that this is also put on group 1. Right, now if you turn it off and go to group 2, right, round box 2 is now on group 2, and round box 1 is on group 1, you know, this one on 1 and this one on 2. Now if you go and press OK, let's see what happens. Press U, you'll see the keyframes here. Now you can see the animation, you know. So it's animating from group 1 to 2. But right now we haven't assigned anything to group 2 yet, so here we have changed it to sphere. So what we'll do is go to group 2 and open up particle replicator, and the particle count will be 1 because it will take the values from group 1, which is 130. Of course 130 boxes will transform into 130 boxes. So now you go to group 2 and change this to sphere as well. Now this is what happens. This is too big, so let's go and steal some values from here. So this is particle size 1.77 of group 1. So right, so let's change the particle size. Go to particle look and change the particle size to, let's say, 2 or something. And particle shape, let's change the camera view to this side. So it's pretty small right now, so let's go and increase the size and shape to and also shape options, change the automatic bias to -3 as well. So now it's properly done. Right, so as you can see, it's happening. Now let's go down to animation engine, and here I just want to change the smoothness down to 30. Right, so now it's looking nice. Right, select this one and right click keyframe assistant if you can't see it, easy ease, or press F9 on your keyboard. Right, now so looks nice. Right, now you can also change the materials, timing of the materials. Go to time delay, and here let's change this to 50. Now it's looking cool. A few other things, let's apply shadows to it. Go to render settings. Here, this is a cool tool, ambient occlusion. Right, enable this one and increase the intensity. So now looks cool now. So right, also what we can do here, direction option, so we can change the directions as well, like that. So very nice. This is really amazing. Also there are many other settings. If you go to group 2 and you want to give it to a bit of randomness, so it looks nice. Scatter, so you can also scatter it, when it's here, for example, and this to 2 and this to 1. Put a keyframe, press U on your keyboard and bring it here. So it's a bit unorganized, so you can bring it back to 0 and right click keyframe assistant, easy ease. Now you can see there's a bit of randomness, and then comes back. Let's put it here. Right, also you can go to world transform and go to world rotation and go to 3 seconds or something. Put keyframes here for X, Y and Z, press U press U to reveal the keyframes, go to 0, and let's say, give it a bit of a movement here. Alright. Select these one, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Now you'll see. Right. So few other things that I did was I applied glow to it. So here you can just write glow and apply glow and increase, the radius. Let's go and change the colors here to yellow and orange, and original colors from A to B. Right, so we've got this nice highlight. Right, and the other thing I did was go to layer, new, solid, and this one let's call it BG background. Bring it down here. Go to fill and just drop it on BG, and just select this color here, a bit of orange. It's gotta be dark. Go to layer, new, solid, change to, and this is veneer, right. Select the mask tool, ellipse mask tool, double click, it will load up, and go to add, subtract, and press F on your keyboard. And let's go and change the BG, you want to make it a bit darker. Also, you can apply it to element 3D, some drop shadow. These are usual stuff that I always do on my tutorial. And change the shadow color to yellow, softness, and there. One other thing that I did was go to GFX. Here I have, got this lens flare. It's just a normal lens flare, I have loaded. And if you go to touch and just drop this lens flare here and select this, turn down the size a little bit. So I just want to, let's start this one here somewhere now. Press P on your keyboard, and I want this to move a little bit. That's it. Press I on your keyboard, press S. I want it to be 0. And when it comes here somewhere, let's make it 60 or something now. You can add 2 of them. Control D on your keyboard. Move this one forward. Press S on your keyboard. Make this one smaller, like this. And press U on your keyboard. And just delete the keyframes. Let's put it here somewhere. Right. Now let's go and see a preview. Also, you can apply some curves to it. Go layer, new, adjustment, and type here curves. Also, you can apply photo filter, color correction. See, reset it. You can use the colors that you want now. If you go back to element and go down to world transform and size, let's make it, you know, bigger. You can animate the size as well, you know. Let's say world scale here is 1 and what reaches here somewhere. Press U and see the keyframes where they are here. So, and let's change this to, let's make this a bit smaller. Right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Right, this is just scale. Very nice. So exactly similar to the one that I created, you know. Right? Cool. Now, let's go and create the other one. Now, what we can do is select this one, edit, duplicate, you know, you've got touch tool, and double click, and we are on touch tool. Let's do some other things with it, you know. Let's close the stuff here, you know, and strips and all that. And you can also, you know, add light to it. So let's just press E and shut down the glow and drop shadow to speed up the work. Right, now what I want is, if you press U, so right now what is happening is it's transforming into other object. So if you go to element here, if you go to group 2 and go to layers and select the layer to 2 and this one to -3, right, and layer distribution to 0. This will create another kind of animation, kind of explosion, you know. Right? Very nice, very nice. I'm loving it. Okay, now let's go here and bring down the size, you know, world size too. Now let's see. Right, let's bring down the size here as well. You know, that's a bit too big. So it's exploding. Right, now let's go and create a text. Right, I want to create, right, this one, a text. Layer new text. Let's say 3D. Right, and just bring it down here so that we can't see it, and go to element, press E, double click, we are in element again. Let's load this text, but for loading the text we need to go to custom layer. Since it's a custom layer, so we go to custom layer. So custom layer, go to custom text and masks and path layer 1. Here we will select the 3D text. Right, let's close it. Now we go back to scene setup. So we've got two box 1 and box 2, but I want to load up the text as well. So what we'll do is we go to extrude. So we've got the text here, right? Now it's on group 1. This is, let's rename it text 3D. Right, so this box 1, rename this one as well, box 1, so that we don't get confused. 1, 2, and this is text 3D. And this one is on group 1, right? Sorry, this one is on group 1, as you can see. So press OK. As in, this is just amazing. So press C on your keyboard, and you can see that this looks amazing, right? So we've got like 3D. Now, why are we seeing squares and 3D here? Because on group 1 we have assigned 2 objects, which is 3D text and the square, right? this screen 1, text 3D, and round box 1, and on 2 is nothing, just this box. So that is why it's transforming into 2, which is just orange boxes, right? Now let's go back to scene setup, and I want element to load up few other things, right? So we go to primitives and we go to, let's say, icons, and let's say we've got this icon here, recycle, right? Recycle, and this is on screen 1 as well. So now you can see that on screen 1 we have got 3D, we have got recycle, and we have got square, right? Amazing. Now, and this explodes into orange boxes. Now I want this to explode into something else as well. I want this to explode into 3D as well, right? Right, so scene setup again, and here round box is 1, so orange box, this one, right? So here it's only orange box is assigned to group 2. So I want this 3D text to explode into scene into group 2 as well. Now you'll see. So now we've got 3D. Why we are seeing 3D and orange? Because I've also applied 3D to group 2 as well. Right? Now we go back again. And let's add one more thing. So you can keep on adding, you know. Let's say this time you want to add biohazard, right? And biohazard is on 1. So now we've got biohazard, right? We've got biohazard, we've got recycle, we've got 3D. Isn't this just amazing, right? And this is exploding into 3D and orange boxes. But I want element to explode into black boxes as well, which is this one. So assign group 2 to it as well. Now it's exploding into black, orange, and 3D, because on group 2 we have assigned 3 objects: 3D, black box, orange box. And on group 1 we have assigned 4 objects: black box, 3D, biohazard, and recycle logo, right? Now let's go and animate it. Amazing. Now you can also apply, you know, motion blur to it, and this looks cool when you apply motion blur, right? Now let's go back, and on screen, on, you know, group 1, I just want black box, right? So let's remove from 1, and this recycle on 2, this on 2 as well, right? 2, 2, 2, and just one group. On one group we have got only this black box. Press OK. So there's nothing here, just black box. So black box explodes into all these 3D, you know, amazing, I mean, logos and 3D text and whatnot. So you can have another text. Let's say you've got this one, Control D, and let's say I want to write, you know, let's solo it. I want to write element, right? And just bring it here, right? Now let's go back to element and go to setup and extrude. So we have got now another extrusion, which is this one, 3D, but we need to change this to the element that we have just written. So for that, what we'll do is we change the custom path to 2. So here it's not showing anything because we haven't assigned the custom path to this one. So let's go to custom path, custom layer, and custom path 2 is element text, which is this one. Just bring it down, you know, and turn it down, and bring element above the BG, and go to scene setup, and this is the element, and this is path 1 is 3D, part 2 is this. And now if you go to OK, you will see that. Let's turn on now. So you got now element and boxes. Now let's go to element again, scene setup, and I want this to be, you know, on group 2. I want this to be on explosion, you know, and the other text that we just wrote was 3D. I want this to come on number 1. So now you can see this is just amazing. So can you see that? Let's go and change the color of the 3D. So we go and select the one that is text 3D and use this one. So now we've got this amazing shader, and now you can see that it's exploding into all these, you know. So we can you know, do lots of animations with it, you know. As you can see that you've got all sorts of. This is not it, you know. You can add more stuff to it. Also, you can turn on, you know, the rest of the stuff that I did, you know. Right now, I just want it to reverse. So press U. What you can do is select the animation keys, you know, and you can just right-click keyframe assistant or time reverse. You know, now let's see how it looks, and just select this one, control select it, so change this, select this one and right click keyframe assistant, easy ease. Now it will play backwards. Amazing, look at that. This is really cool. Look at that. Cool. Right, I'm just, you know, I just want to add more and more stuff to it. So let's go and put some more stuff. Right, so one more thing. What? Let me just add another one. Which one? Primitive. Right, go to icons. So just add, let's say I add this one, and just put this gear to object 2, you know, on group 2, and just press OK. Now look at the amazing part. Now we have got, like in group 2, we have got this orange box, recycle logo, biohazard logo, this gear, and element text, right? And on group 1 we have got 3D and box. Check this out. Amazing. Wow, I want to add more. Right, okay, hang on a second. Let me just add this one. So power logo, put it to screen. Okay, let's put it to screen 1 and 2. I mean group 1 and 2, and see what happens. So now power logo is on group 1 here, and 3D there as well, you know, and it explodes into this as well. So power logo is here, and also it is on screen 1. Amazing. Right, so these are, you know, the stuff that you can do with this amazing element software. So this is the one that I did, you know, earlier. Let's hide this. Right, so if you go back, you can also put a keyframe here, you know. So all these, you know, things, and also what you can do, if, you know, one more thing I just want to show you here is, let's say on group 2, it's Sapphire right now, I just want it to be a ring, you know, so this becomes a ring as well, you know. Right, and let's change the animation keyframe, bring it here, this one, and this one here, and right click keyframe assistant, easy ease. Now let's see what happens. So the Sapphire group 1 changes into ring group 2. Amazing, right? Now from ring to, let's say we want it to point. Point is one, you know, exploding from a little, you know, tiny point into this huge sphere, right? And so all these, you've got all these options here, you know. Or if you want to go to group 1 and let's say the replicator to, so from sphere to ring, so it's a ring right now and exploded into a sphere. I hope you are following me. You know, it's pretty easy, simple. All you just got to do is, you know, load up stuff and play with the groups 1 2 2 1 3, you know, all these groups, and change the animations, you know. Just play around with it and right click this one, remove unused. So you've got all these, you know, shaders here. So actually this is my first tutorial, so I just wanted to keep it simple, you know, so that you can understand element 3D, you know, and the things that we can do with it. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, my name is Shoaib Khan from Maxafter.com. Assalamu alaikum, hello and bye, and peace be on all of you.